What's up? What's up? What's up, fam? It is Tuesday, and you guys know what goes down here on Tuesday. Wife Chat goes down here on Tuesday. So, do me a huge, huge favor. Make sure that you are hitting the share button and letting all my one sexy wives know the Wife Chat is going down. Scott, thank you so much for getting on here from Georgia. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for already putting in the chat where you're watching me from. I appreciate you on my YouTube channel. I appreciate you. Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on Wife Chat. I appreciate you. I want to start off by saying I hope and pray that each and every last one of you guys had an amazing Christmas. Let me just tell you guys, Christmas was good to Gail, right? I got some rest over the weekend and it was just good to be home. As you guys know, I have been traveling for 3 weeks shooting Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage, my TV pilot. And it was just good to be home. Last week I came on here and I told you guys that I was a little bit hard headed, but I got myself some rest, and Christmas was so amazing with my family. Um, Santa was good to my grandkids and to my children. And I'm just so blessed to be alive, so blessed to have family, and so blessed to have a roof over my head. Gil was like, "What do you want? What do you want?" And I'm like, What is left for me to get?" Like, seriously, I am just blessed beyond my belief. And so, you know, he ended up giving me a weekend away because I told him I didn't want anything. There's nothing physically that I want. I am just grateful. And so my thing is that, being with my family and my kids and us playing games and just laughing and just having family time is enough for me. And so I pray that you guys had an amazing time for Christmas, and that you were blessed, and that you was able to be around family and just enjoy one another, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Okay. um Hi, T Hammer. Hit the like button for Dr. Gail. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much. Tell me where you're joining me from. I appreciate that. Again, you guys, so tonight's chat comes from a wife from Maryland. She says she's been married 16 years with 2 children. She says, "Help, Dr. Gail. I am married but feel really alone. My husband is a great father and provider. He is very kind to me as well, but he and I got married very young, and we now have very little in common. I I have tried to talk to him, but he has not changed at all. I don't want to walk away from my marriage because, again, he is a great father, a great provider, and we don't have any other problems in our marriage. Just that I feel alone even when we're together." Okay. Hi, Johanna. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me on my Facebook page. I appreciate you. And so let me just tell you this. Gil and I have been married 36 years, and this happens in a lot of marriages. Sometimes you do feel alone, even though you are married. Should that last for a long period of time? Absolutely not. Should you address it if it's going on? The answer is yes. She said that she has tried to have a conversation, but no change. Okay. And here's some things for you to consider if you're feeling that you are alone in your marriage, right? Feeling disconnected, feeling lonely even when you're together, unable to, say your feelings and feel heard, no quality time, and there's no intimacy. And intimacy and sex is two different things. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Okay, T, I see that you're listening from Oakland, California. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Joanna, I know where you're listening to me from Philly. I appreciate you. Again, you guys, Scott, thank you so much for joining me from Georgia. I appreciate you. You was the first one on here. I appreciate that. And so, anyway, whenever you're feeling disconnected from your spouse, you need to really understand what is the root cause and what has put you in that place. Feeling alone in your marriage just does not happen overnight. It's a process, okay? And so I want to give this young lady some tools or some things to really think about and how you can reconnect. Because again, Gil and I have been there, and it was, the root cause of what made us do this was changing work schedules, stress, and a whole bunch of other things. So, what can you do to help get back on track and not feel lonely in your marriage? Because according to what she has said, he is a good man. He's a good father. It seems like their marriage is good. It's just that maybe they're evidently they're not communicating effectively, and maybe they're not doing things or and stuff like that. So number one, look at what has changed in the marriage, right? You said that you guys got married really young, and that now you guys have nothing in common. So that's the reason why doing a marriage checkup every 6 months in your marriage is so important, right? And you got to ask the hard questions, because as you grow and mature and have different experiences, all those things, it makes a difference. Because even though you guys are still together, life is lifing and you're getting different experiences, and you're not the same person that he married 16 years ago, and he's not the same person. So you need to look at what has changed in his life. Has his work schedule changed? Has something physically changed that he is worried about? Is he stressed out in the marriage, right? Or is he stressed out at work? All of these things can make someone disconnect from you in the marriage, okay? Number two, plan time outside of the home to reconnect. Plan time outside of the home to reconnect. And that's the reason why Gil and I have a date night every single Friday, right? Because it's important. And we, as much as possible, we date outside of the home. And we make sure that we don't talk about any problems, any stress or whatever. We make sure that it's time for us to laugh, have fun, talk about future stuff that we want to do or accomplish, places we want to go, things we want to see, whatever that looks like, because that gives us time to reconnect and not be in the same space that we could have had an argument in, or feel disconnected in, or whatever. So try to plan time to reconnect with your spouse. And again, it is so important, and this is one thing that you guys need to do before the new year hit. If you're married and you have not had time to ask the hard questions, don't go into the new year doing the same exact thing that you did this year and don't ask the questions. Again, I think you should do a marriage checkup every 6 months. Ask the hard questions. Am I still looking appealing to you? And be prepared for the answer. Am I still laying it down in the bedroom how you like it? How are we doing financially? All of those questions that you need to ask the questions, because if you don't, you won't get the answer, and then you can start drifting apart. And then you say, oh, I feel lonely, or I did not know that. You gotta ask the questions. You get a review every so often on your job, right? They tell you how you doing. Why don't you do that to the person that you said you're going to spend the rest of your life with? Because as you grow in your career, things change, the expectations change, all of those things. It's the same way that happens in your marriage, okay? So spend time outside to reconnect. And then the fourth one was no, the third one is ask the hard questions. I've already talked about ask the hard questions. Number four is learn to speak your spouse's love language. What is your spouse's love language? So many people don't even know their spouse's love language, right? And myself and Dr. Chapman, before the COVID happened, had sat down and had a 4 hour conversation. And I asked him, where did he develop the love languages? And he said that, but I just in my own practice have realized that most people's core love languages have developed when you were younger, right? And how can they change and switch? Absolutely. But the core of who you are and how you want to be loved and how you want to be showed love, it was developed as a child. And so you need to learn your spouse's love language and try your best to speak his or her love language on a regular basis. Okay. My love core love language is words of affirmation and gifts. Well, I don't need any more gifts, right? I don't. But do I need words of affirmation? Absolutely. Gail's love language, main love language, is physical touch and acts of service, right? Do I speak his love language? Absolutely. Every day? Absolutely not. But do I try on a regular basis? Absolutely. And the thing is that if you don't know your spouse's love language, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're doing your marriage a disservice. And I suggest that you go and take the test. It's free, and it can literally change your marriage, and it can change how you guys interact. Okay. Number 5, adjust your expectations. Because again, the person that you married and the person that your spouse is today is not the same person. And if you had certain expectations going into the marriage, and that person has changed, had different experiences, just like you got to adjust your expectations. Have the conversation and say, am I being too needy? Because I'm feeling lonely, but am I being too needy in these areas? And allow them to answer you, right? Because again, your spouse might have not been working 60 hours a week back when they could show you all this, affection and sit under you and you breathe each other's breath and all that kind of stuff. It could be that the expectations that you have on the marriage and on him or on her have changed. And so you need to adjust your expectations, okay? And be realistic with them. But ask the hard questions so you can adjust and you won't feel lonely all the time in your marriage, okay? The next thing is figure out how to communicate with your spouse on a regular basis. Because part of feeling lonely is you not feeling heard. Part of feeling lonely is that you're not feeling heard. And so you need to figure out, am I speaking and talking to my spouse at the time at the right time? Because sometimes you need to ask the question, when is the best time for us to have a conversation? I remember that when Gil used to walk in, I used to just bombard him with 50,000 different conversation, and he would be looking at me like a deer in the headlight. And I was like, why are you not responding to me? Why are you not saying? And he's like, can I just put my bag down, go to the bathroom, get some, and then I'm ready to talk. So I had to learn to adjust so he could be present, he could answer me and be fully involved in the conversation. And the thing was is that I was talking about 50,000 things instead of having one agenda and sticking to that agenda and having a conversation about one thing that was important, not 50,000 things. Okay. Hi, Charles. How are you? I appreciate you. Blessings to you, Dr. Gail. Where can we take the for I will definitely if you go to 5 love language test, you can Google that. It'll take you there. If not, I will put in the chat before I get off of here the link to the 5 love language test. Okay. Charles, thank you so much for getting on here. I appreciate you. And the last thing is, if you still continue to feel lonely in your marriage and you don't know how to reconnect, it's something bigger, right? And you need to get to the root cause of what is going on that you're feeling disconnected. And I say seek help. A lot of times we invest in vacations, we invest in cars, houses, everything else. But the only walking, talking, living, breathing person that you said that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, we don't have money for that. We don't want to invest in that. Why is that? That's the only person that you said you're going to spend the rest of your life with. That's the only walking, talking, living, breathing person that you cut a covenant with, but you don't want to invest in that. Why is that? Because again, this is it seems to be a good, solid marriage, but it's something that she is feeling lonely, and you can definitely reconnect. You just got to roll up your sleeves, figure out what the root cause is, ask the hard questions, learn to communicate effectively, spend time together outside of the house doing some quality things to reconnect. You got to go to work. Just like you go to work for everything else, go to work for your marriage. Okay? Is there any other questions that anybody has? Again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you so much for all your support. Like I said, I'm going into 2024 just super excited about what God is doing for me in my life. You guys have no idea how blessed I feel. And like I said, yesterday was such a blessing just to see everybody just laughing. We was playing games. My grandkids running around. You know, they done got old enough now where they're 2 and 1, where they can open the, try to open up their gifts. It was just such a blessing to just be alive and to be accounted for yesterday. And so I hope and pray that was the same thing. Again, you guys, thank you so much for supporting all my social media. I can't even complain. If you need to talk to me, you guys know I offer a free 15-minute discovery call. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to do anything. The only thing I am trying to do is help you with one situation and give you a tool or strategy to get you over that hump. And so, you just need to visit my website, gailcrowder.com, and you can schedule from there. I can tell you this, my schedule is closed off until next week, like the 2nd or the 3rd or whatever, because like I said, I got a life outside of this too. Hi, Tamika, how are you? Thank you so much for hopping on. Please tell me where you're joining me from. I would love, love, love to give you a shout out. Um, I'm trying to get this link for Mr. Charles. Let me see if it'll let me do it. I'm not sure, but I will see if it will let me do it. I'm trying to see if it'll let me do it without hanging up here. Hopefully y'all can still see me. Hopefully. Let me know, because I came off the screen. But I don't know why I can't find the link. Of course, when I'm trying to find the link quickly, it don't let me. But my prayer is that I can find it. But if not, Mr. Charles, I don't know why I can't find it, because it's like when you're looking for something, it don't let you find it. But as soon as I get off here, I'm sure it'll let me find it. But just Google 5 love language tests, Charles. Just Google 5 love language test, and it'll hopefully you can find it. If not, inbox me and I'll send it to you. For some reason I can't find it real quick. I usually have it in my notes. But again, you guys, if you need me, you guys know how to find me. Dr. Gail, thank you for your advice, insight, and relationship. You have helped me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have no idea. I really do appreciate you. You guys, if you have something you want me to talk about here on Wife Chat, please, please, please reach out to me. I will put you in the rotation, and I will always reach out to you and let you know when I will feature your chat. Um, I will never say your name. I will always just state what you know state you're from and your situation. Again, I started Wife Chat to help women and men. Help any of their problems. So I truly, truly appreciate you guys. Again, the next time I will be on here, it will be a new year. So I pray nothing but blessings, love, peace, and harmony over you guys as we step into 2024. Again, you guys continue to pray for me as I continue to pray for you. If you need me, you guys know how to get in contact with me.